What is going on, my friends? We are back on this stupid rainy day. Hopefully the sound of the rain hitting the roof won't be too distracting. In any case, we're talking about some of the nuanced things in the kettlebell swing that can help you tweak a B+ kettlebell swing to an A+ kettlebell swing. Before we were talking about kettlebell grip and how to protect your hands and also build proper grip strength. Today we're talking about the hike pass. What I've noticed in my long tenured time of being a coach, so to speak, is that a lot of other coaches will reference the kettlebell deadlift as the best place to start when learning a kettlebell swing. It makes complete sense. The foundation of a kettlebell swing is rooted in a hip hinge movement. The deadlift is probably the best hip hinge based movement that you could do. But my problem with the kettlebell deadlift is that it doesn't seem to be a very dynamic movement. When I say dynamic, I really mean explosive. Some people might say something else, and that's fine. That's the cool thing about being a human being, is that we can create and develop our own opinions on things. When I think of a kettlebell deadlift, I think of strength, power, but not necessarily explosiveness. The kettlebell swing demands explosivity, if you will. To do the hike pass is to get ready to be explosive. To do a deadlift, I would not say is to get ready to be explosive. So the hike pass is a great way to prepare explosiveness. Let's check it out. One of the first things that I see new kettlebell swingers do is when they start to load the kettlebell, sometimes they'll just pick it up like so, and then they'll get it going like that. Really, we're starting to droop a lot under the hips, so we're reaching like this because we never started with a great position anyway. We're gonna take the flat part of my wrist here, and I'm gonna load it right around the groin. My legs are making contact with the wrists. It's called a hike pass for a reason. If you've ever watched football, American football that is, the center on the offensive line hikes the ball to the quarterback. Most people don't think about it very often, but that quarterback has the top of his hand up in that center stuff, if you know what I mean. It's up in his business. So think about bringing the kettlebell right up under your stuff. I'll try to be as non-crude as possible here, but you want to bring the belt right up under the hips, and that way your wrists are loaded on the hips. That way when you explode up with this hip hinge, the energy transference happens very efficiently, and you're not just swinging with open arms like so. We're going to get onto the bell, slightly behind the ball. So we're not going to be here, we're going to be behind the ball. We're gonna grab the ball into this cocked position. Not like this. If we jerk it off like this, it's gonna be kind of wobbling all over the place. Oh yes, you know that you can bet your last Buffalo nickel that I know what you're thinking right now. The fact is I did not intend for it to sound like that as I was saying it. Jerk it off the ground. Don't jerk the kettlebell off the ground. That's what we're referencing, the kettlebell. Remove that thought from your head, that dirty little mind that went elsewhere as I was talking about this hike pass, and let's move on. And for the hike pass, we're gonna bring our thumbs up under the stuff, right there. And rest. You can see my chest come up. I kind of squeeze the quads a little bit, kind of like a mini squat. And then I take my lats and I'm pulling back under the groin, actively pulling back. So here's a drill you can use with the band to practice good lat activation so that hike pass gets back to where it needs to be. As the bells get heavier, sometimes it can be difficult to learn how to activate your lats into pulling back without flexing the elbows. So we're gonna get this band, we're gonna loop it around something. If you don't have an upright at home, obviously, most people don't, but I will get a C-clamp and I'll grip it onto like a door frame or something like that, and then loop a band around the C-clamp. We're gonna grab the band like this, we're gonna bend over just like a kettlebell swing, and we're just gonna practice pulling those lats back. We can bring the feet out, bring the grip tighter. So we don't want to flex the elbows. We wanna keep those nice and tight. Just focus on lats, lats. Almost like you're squeezing something into your armpit. That's what's gonna kind of teach us the technique of turning our lats on so we can have a good hike pass. So I'm trying to be as appropriate as possible when talking about the technical aspects to the hike pass technique. But if you could just bear with me for a second, we might get a little weird, and really it's only weird if you make it weird, so just chillax on this just for a second. If you are a male and you possess the male anatomy, making contact with said anatomy with your thumbs, that's gonna be the best indicator to know that you are fully loaded into the hike pass. Same goes for a lady. I'm not a lady, so I can't really relate, but if you are seating the kettlebell under your groin appropriately, you should be making contact with your female anatomy with your thumbs. Might be crude, but it is what it is, folks. It seems to be very effective because we all know where those body parts are on our body, I would hope, but getting it up under the hips is what we need. Most people, and I do say most and I mean it, most people seem to be too low in the swing, and that's why sometimes the low back can start doing more flexion and extension work that really it's not responsible for. The low back is responsible for stabilizing, not necessarily like putting effort into a movement to get the movement done. It should be nice and tight and stable. Getting the hike pass nailed down pat is the best way to get ready to be explosive. A kettlebell swing is a dynamic movement, so let's practice dynamic movements to get better at the swing. Anyway, next time we're going to be talking about hip thrusts and glute bridges.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And how that translates to full hip extension. And then we're gonna start blending some things together to really have a nice, perfect kettlebell swing. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Throw me a like, comment something that maybe you specifically struggle with. My name is John. This is my gym, CrossFit Gallatin. We do good kettlebell swings here because I insist upon it. Anyway, we'll see you next time, friends. Peace.